What is going on, guys? Half O'Clock Up here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode of Felicity Friday. When's the last time you put some red line in your gas tank? So 15 years, I doubt this machine has ever had a good old-fashioned cleaning out of the valves and fuel system and all the things. Enter Redline Power Sports formula. I used to put this in Evelyn all the time and she loved it. So we're gonna drop some in Felicity and see how goes it. Well, so much has happened since we last talked. You may or may not have noticed that we had a little bit of a water pump failure, and it was quite the adventure to swap in a new water/oil pump. So, long story short, track day, which was awesome, by the way, here at Crescent on June 14th, a couple of Saturdays ago. After the third session, I noticed as I was backing her into the paddock that there was a little bit of a coolant drip. I was like, well, that's interesting, right? Fast forward to Monday, I rode the bike to work, and I noticed that at every red light, I would smell coolant, of course, but I'd look down, and she was just dripping out of the belly pan. I'm like, oh crap. So that's the end of that, right? So much for riding this bike for a little while. So yeah, so Felicity was dormant for a little bit until I could take care of that issue, which of course I did, and there's a whole video tutorial on that. Other than that, couple of exciting pieces of news for you guys. First off, take a look at this respectable stack of boxes. You boys know what that is? That's right, that's Felicity's clothes and bits. The little box on the top of that stack is all of her hardware. Anything that had a little nick, mark, scratch, you name it. All the metal bits that got a little tore up in our unspeakable little incident, which coincidentally happened right there. And we're about to reenact, I'm sorry, knock on frickin' wood. We're not about to reenact, we're about to re-experience the scenario, not reenact. Good Lord, guys. I don't want to relive that at all. And trust me, every time I pull out of this joint now, I don't necessarily relive it, but it's in the back of my mind. Anyways, so the big boxes are her fairings, all brand new OEM from Japan. Took a while to get here, right? This accident happened in April, and just this past week got all these boxes from UPS, all sourced from Park Shark. Fantastic company. Going to be a whole separate video where I discuss Park Shark and how you and I have been paying way too much for OEM parts. Without further ado, let's just get back on the road. We'll have a chat about some other things too. Exciting things, super exciting things. But first, let's not die and not get hit by an SUV again. And so we will very careful. Not you, guy. You're not the guy. Very carefully and gingerly navigate our way out of here. Well, I'll tell you the advantage we have right now is there's no traffic northbound. In other words, in these two lanes here. There's some southbound traffic. So I was coming out right here. All this traffic was stopped. They let me out. I entered this median, and bam! From that direction in front of us here, I got broadsided. Yep, that's how that went down. Come on, people. All right. So the other news, boys. I signed up for COTA. Yes, after all these years, I signed up for COTA, and we are going to be putting Felicity on Circuit of the Americas on August 9th. It's a Saturday. For the longest time, for years, I was talking about being the first rider to put an FZ6R on Circuit of the Americas, and you know, that never worked out. It just never worked out. Over the past couple of years, I've worked a few corner days with 316. I did a whole video on that, by the way, how to earn free track days. And so what I did is I stacked credits onto the actual generous the actually generous price of $5.99, which is about as cheap as you can get to get on Circuit of the Americas, and that's through 316 Superbike Camp. Rode with them several times in the past. They are awesome. Looking forward to it. But basically what this came down to was a few corner working credits stacked together, and I walked away with like a $259 purchase, something like that, for Circuit of the Americas. Super cheap, I know. And so I'm dropping an extra $50 to go ahead and get a garage, right? I mean, this is the deal, man. Circuit of the Americas is a freaking experience. It's not just about the track day. Like, who doesn't want to be just in that whole surreal environment where you sat in the stands for years watching MotoGP and Moto America race on that track? I want to be in the garage. I want to be in the paddock where the racers are. That's where I want to stage my bike for the day, right? So that's what we're going to do. And of course, I don't have a truck anymore, so that was a challenge to overcome, right? Enter Turo. You guys ever heard of Turo? So it's basically a rental car program of private individuals. So you go to Turo.com, enter your zip code. You can filter by the type of vehicle you want to rent, and there's a map with little pin drops, you know, just like you're searching for anything else. And I found a 2017 Crew Cab Silverado for rent from a gal in Burleson, which is about, I don't know, 15 minutes north of where I live. It's going to be $93. It includes 400 miles of travel for free. Now, the round trip to Circuit of the Americas and back is going to be about an extra 60 miles or so. So then it's like 21 cents a mile, which works out to like just over $10 extra. I took out the little extra insurance thing, as you always should with any sort of rental car. Whether or not you have your own private insurance coverage, you know, it's always good to take out the minimum extra. So I did that. It's just over $100 all said and done, man, to rent a pick-em-up truck. And also I have reserved a motorcycle trailer from U-Haul. So that's going to be the setup, boys. Put Felicity on a U-Haul motorcycle trailer just like we always have for track days, and we'll be renting a little full-size pickup truck to tote the rig with. Another thing I noticed when I pulled the wheels off this bike to get the Q5 swapped on is that the front brake pads are about three-quarter the way through their lifespan. They perform just fine at Crescent, but I figure, you know, we'll be hitting like 150 plus potentially on the back straight multiple times throughout the day at COTA. And so let's not tempt fate with old brakes, right? I should probably swap in some new fluid too, give her an old bleed. So that might happen as well, but I've got some EBC pads on the way. We'll swap those in, get her ready for track day, and rock and roll. Oh man, but I am super excited to get all her brand new fairings on, man. This bike is gonna look so mint. Super stoked about that. Oh, so speaking of freshening her up with all her new fairings, I've also gotten a sequential integrated taillight from Motodynamic, which is the same taillight I ran on Evelyn for years and never had an issue out of it. It's awesome because, you know, it's a doot doot doot. You get that? Doot doot doot. A sequential blinker setup. I was still in third. There we go. Half click up, neutral. Yeah, so it's a sequential integrated taillight from Motodynamic, as well as a new tidy kit, a new tail tidy kit from TST Industries. It's their Elite series, which allows you to either install it traditionally under the tail or under the rear fender. You know, the deep tuck that is like technically illegal, but we don't care because of who we are as a person, who we are as a people, who I am as a person. So, and because it looks good, so it comes with a little block off plate to cover the factory plate mount spot, and so it makes it look good, right? So yeah, we're gonna give her a brand new tail light, which will eliminate the rear blinkers, just tighten it up real crisp, man, and then have that plate tucked in real deep, have her tail clean, nothing but Yoshi, you know what I mean? Have her looking nothing but Yoshi. And so yeah, the plan is to potentially have all of her bits swapped over tomorrow, and she'll be like a brand new bike all over again. We also turned 12,000 miles this week, so I've officially put 2,000 miles on this bike and only got hit by one car. That's not too bad, right? So I've got this bad habit of absolutely hauling way too much butt up this road to my work, because I love to do it. Let's not get hit by a skid steer. Wow, that would have been terrible. That would have hurt. I probably wouldn't have survived that. Settle down, boys. Settle down. Gosh dang, man. Oh, man. Just another day, right? Just another day. It's Friday, though, boys. There's that. Well, so to recap, $3,000 worth of new parts going on the bike this weekend, and we're going to Circuit of the Americas, boys, and it's going to be epic. But that is all I have for you today. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Felicity Friday. And as always, this has been me, and that's been you. Man, I almost plowed that skid steer. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace.